No freedom, no freedom. 3 hots in the cot and these bullshit trailers, I can't eat them. I can't eat them.
Right now, like I said at the onset of the show, if you have sickle cell anemia, right now is the place to be with me right now, because I have people going through a few challenges and they ain't scared. They're standing up. Yeah, talking about it. Because we have to bring awareness to it. So we got a really great, non-profit organization with some really great people. We got Mr. Terrence Joseph right here. More than sickle cell. More than sickle cell. Yeah. And we have Kelly M. Walker right here.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Kelly.
Thank you.
Terrence,
Thank you.
my
The
guy, I
pleasure
really
is mine.
appreciate you. Thank you so much. First of all, you're real courageous to want to come on board the Player T show and speak about sickle cell. First and foremost, are you inflicted with sickle cell?
Yes, I am.
What about you, Terrence?
Yes, I am.
So the both of you, how stupid question, all your life?
But that's a common question.
All your life?
My whole life.
You
You
were born with
diagnosed
it?
with it, born with it. It's a genetic disease. That's
So
what a lot
what
of people
is
don't
sickle cell?
understand.
It's a genetic disease. You said, explain to the people that don't know what sickle cell, explain what it is.
Sickle cell is a blood disorder. It's a genetic blood disorder that can be passed on from generation to generation. It's basically when your red blood cells are shaped awkwardly, shaped like a sickle. That's where the name sickle cell comes from. They're shaped like a sickle, and they get clogged in your blood vessels, and that causes loss of oxygen, pain, infection. all of the
What
above.
causes, to your knowledge, what causes sickle cell? What's some of the causes, if
It's
anything?
not a cause because it's genetic.
Yeah.
So it's in your blood. It's been
Right.
passed down from generation to generation.
It's derived from malaria in Africa.
Correct.
That's where it came from.
Malaria?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So
So the myth behind it, because everybody is still trying to get the correct information on sickle cell, where it was formed. We have the background, which is the Mediterranean area, Africa, of course.
right.
But we are still on a journey ourselves to figure out exactly where it come from and how it was started.
Where the actual origin is, nobody knows that. We just know somewhere Africa, Mediterranean.
Well, tell me a day in the life, of someone that's inflicted with that. Tell me a day in the life. What is it, how it go? Because I really want to know.
Well, it can vary. It affects people different in different ways.
How does it affect you?
Well, for me, my childhood was kind of normal. I didn't really start getting sick until I went to college. Had to put up with all the stress from tests and finals. And
So let me
all
get
that
this
type of
straight.
stuff.
In your youth, you wasn't feeling any of the symptoms or anything like that.
Not really. Yeah. Didn't nobody really know that I had it, unless
And
I
you didn't
told
know
them.
yourself.
I knew.
Yeah.
I was born with it, but I didn't know a lot about it, I would always wonder, everybody would be outside playing football, and you know how you playing sports and you take your shirt off, take your jacket off. I would get in trouble if I took my jacket off. I'm like, why can't I take my jacket off? Why can't I take my hat off? And then my mother had to explain, you not like them. You would get sick real quick. If I catch a regular cold, that's times 10 for me. I could get hospitalized, have pneumonia in my lungs, acute chest syndrome.
So what was some of the things your mom would do to help you protect you from the disorder while you were coming up?
I just had to be real cautious of what I did. I didn't play any sports growing up in high school or anything.
How was your mindset behind that? Did you feel any less than?
Well, I did at first, but in high school, I had went to Glenville High School, and I got real cool with Coach Ginn, and
Hey! 06.
Coach Ginn let me still be part of the team, the football team,
Okay.
so.
He
so
knew
I-
your condition.
Shout out to Coach
Exactly.
Glenn.
Pancakes all the time, it's real.
Yeah, so. I was still a part of the team, you know, like I was just like his assistant, you know, doing paperwork. I traveled with him and all that. So thanks to him, you know, like I was
So
just in
so
a-
he was able to. So just with that right there, because being a young man coming up in high school,
loving sports.
loving sports, you know, all the girls checking out all the athletes,
Exact-
and
right.
then you want to partake in it, but then you got to
Then I
realize
can't.
that you got to be cautious. So that'll wear on your mind.
Yeah.
But Coach Ginn had the wherewithal and in the class
Right.
to show you dignity and still
Exactly.
keep be inclusive with you and everything
Right.
like that. Were some of your classmates, were they unsensitive to you? Were they making fun of you or anything of that nature?
Yeah, certain ones was, but I had like the whole football team behind me, you know, like they were like my older brothers, you know.
Yeah, like
know.
Terrence is with us.
Right.
Yeah, don't
you
worry
know.
about what's wrong with him. Ain't nothing wrong. It's all good.
Exactly. So
Okay.
I didn't really have a problem.
What about you, Kelly? How was it for you coming up? You were diagnosed with it, and you know what was your mindset? Young being told this, what was your mindset?
Well, my first experience with sickle cell, I was 6 months old, where I experienced my first crisis. My mom
Well,
wasn't
you were
there.
told this, right? Because
No.
I'm pretty sure
It was on
you remember it.
Well, I was told it, but
Okay,
when you
okay.
live with sickle cell, you never forget.
Okay.
You never forget.
Thanks for
My first crisis was 6 months old. My grandmother told me I was just crying and crying, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. They eventually took me to the hospital. At that time, that's when they did the blood results in the labs, and that's when it came back that I was positive for sickle cell anemia. So my youth was the complete opposite from his, actually.
I mean, what? Like what? You didn't?
I
you,
was
you
hospitalized.
Threw caution to the wind. Oh, okay.
No, I actually dealt with my crisis from blood transfusions to me being hospitalized for over weeks at a time, even months, to the point where I almost failed 3rd, 5th, and 7th grade. If I didn't have dependable.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Wow.
Let's fathom that, because this is
Yeah.
a young woman coming up in her most impressionable years.
Exactly.
You know, you know, yeah.
Thank
And
you.
it's still to this day, baby. You know, ain't nothing
You know,
stop
got
to
me
slow
blush.
down. But we saying in them days, we didn't know what was going on with that. So it's kind of
Absolutely.
like low self-esteem could have brewed in the
Exactly.
heart.
Everything.
Everything you went through the gauntlet
it
of
mentally
emotions.
broke me down as well as physically.
How did you fight through it all?
My mom. My mom was the strongest.
Support
R.I.P.
system.
My mother is no longer here with us.
Okay.
I lost her 4 years ago. But if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be the woman that I am sitting here today. She never let me feel like I was indifferent. She
Right.
never told me, never let nobody feel sorry for you.
What was your out? What,
You gotta have a strong
Were
support
you
system.
were you mad at the Creator? Were you mad at God?
As a child, absolutely. Because we all got that question to why me? Like,
Yeah.
why did
everybody
I
goes
have to
through
have
that.
sickle cell?
Everybody goes
Why
through
do
that.
I have to go through
What
this?
was your out? What was your channel?
At that time,
Yeah, at that time.
everything they told me I couldn't do. They told them you can't be
Yeah.
active in sports. I went on and
Exactly.
played every sport. I was a part of high stepping, cheerleading, volleyball, tennis, swimming.
So were you
Martial
dealing with
arts.
the episodes? Dealing
Absolutely,
with those?
absolutely.
You were just dealing with it.
The thing about me is I pushed myself to the limit, to where it wasn't a limit anymore. Because
Makes you stronger.
not only that, but my mental. If somebody tell me I can't do something, I'm gonna do the complete opposite.
Exactly.
You tell me, no, Kelly, don't cross that line. I'll be like, which line? This one? Oh, okay, let me step over and see what's gonna happen.
Right.
So they telling me my whole life, no, you can't play sports. You need to take it easy. You need to dress right for the temperature. Oh no, you're not gonna live past 21.
So was that a thing about rebelling towards your
Absolutely.
diagnosis?
Rebellion. I'm a rebellious soul. I'm an Aquarius. I will turn the world upside
In the
down.
long run, did that help you?
Absolutely. It made me the woman I am
Oh!
today.
Huh?
The woman I am today.
Now, Terrence, hold
Thank
on.
you.
Now, Terrence, let me ask you some of the same questions. Did you hate God?
I didn't hate God, but I had questions. The only thing that really saved me and helped me out a lot, my aunt had sickle cell. So she explained a lot to me and helped me
Pulled you
through
to
a
the
lot.
side, and what was
Yeah.
some of the things? What was one of the main things you could remember she said to you that helped you get through it?
Be strong, have willpower, have patience, because like my aunt not only had sickle cell, she had kidney failure. She was on dialysis.
But all of that
She
comes
had sickle
from
cell.
sickle cell, though.
Plus, you know, like
A lot of things.
all
right,
it
like-
triggers all of it.
all of that other stuff.
So was it a thing like you figure if she can be strong and go through all that, I know
Exactly.
I can go through my challenge.
Right, you know, and for like the questions that I had to ask, just like why me and why this, why that, she was there, my mother was there. You have to have a strong support system.
Yeah.
You gotta have a system around you.
Yes.
You got the not-for-profit. How long ago? How long you been working with this nonprofit?
For about a year and a half now.
About a year and a half.
Yeah, I
Wh-
started.
Why start a nonprofit dealing with sickle cell?
I wanted to start one on my own because I felt like it wasn't a lot of stuff out here for people with sickle cell. Just my goal is to be an advocate, to build awareness. Like I want everybody to know about sickle cell. For one, it's a African American disease, predominantly African American disease. And as far as sickle cell, nobody knows anything about it. But when you say cancer or breast cancer, everybody knows everything about it. When breast cancer month come, everybody wearing pink,
Everybody walking.
walking,
Everybody
doing
giving
all
out
of that.
donations.
Even if you don't have breast cancer or nobody in your family,
You gotta
you know, like
wait.
I'm not saying don't support that, but why can't sickle cell be
Just as a
Has-
equivalent as that?
Has the complications got any easier for you as time went along?
Complications as far as
It's from sickle cell. The
Uh,
things you're dealing with.
it's kind of up and down. It's all about how you treat your body, you know, like taking care of myself. And
What are you doing?
One-
What's some of the things you're doing to minimize the
crisis.
Yeah, the crisis.
I make sure I exercise every day, just like I can't lay around, you know, like being lazy in the house. Like my joints are stiffened up. I gotta watch what I eat, stuff like that. But one big thing for me is the cold weather, the snow. Really,
I don't think you gotta
gets me-
have sickle cell to be pissed off with the cold weather, man.
Well-
Here in
Oh,
Cleveland.
I think I got, it's cold.
well, like me,
it's cold. You know what I'm saying?
in the wintertime, that's like a bad season for me. Like
Even
I would be
worse.
in the hospital, you know, like the whole winter. So I had actually moved to Florida for 5 years to, you know, get away from that. But
So when you moved to Florida, you turned up?
yeah. Everything was cool.
And I'm willing to
Everything
bet
was
all
cool.
the
Like I
sickle-
wouldn't, you
all
know.
the crises went down and everything.
Yeah.
You start seeing them bikinis. You
Absolutely.
start seeing them bikinis, baby. Them palm trees, you know what I mean?
Right.
Back down memory lane.
This dude, he was ready.
Right.
Was ready.
You know what I'm saying? Back down memory. Now, Kelly, no, tell me how it is. I mean, because you want to get intimate. Is there any challenges with that?
Well, yes. First of all, you have to be able to just have an intellectual and mental connection with that partner. A lot of people don't really understand.
Again, I think you
know.
need to have that whether you have sickle cell or not, too.
Hey, that-
Yeah,
Yes, that is true. But with sickle cell, it's a disease that, one, they call it
Invisible disease.
because when you look at us, we look perfectly healthy.
Right.
Like nothing is absolutely wrong.
Right.
And you would fail to realize that I almost lost my life at least 4 times.
Oh, wow.
That I have been in a coma before for
Wow.
more than
Wow.
4 days. I
Wow.
see you 2.5 weeks. Just recently when I had my son.
Oh,
That was actually the biggest challenge and hardship I've ever been through besides me losing my mom. Me having my son because I was told I would not ever be able to have kids.
Oh!
Ever. I would never live past 21.
Oh!
I would
Right.
never be able to play sports. I would never be able to start a movement
So
and build
hold on,
awareness.
When you reach those milestones,
Whew.
turning 21, having
they
a
told me
child
that.
when you were told none of it was going to happen.
You want to see what
You
I
know-
did?
Yeah, what did you do? Show me.
Y'all got some music for me? Fuck it up. I like humble. Y'all got that? If not, I'm gonna mess it up. But that ain't my word I use. I use the F word. I'm gonna mess it up though. We got
okay.
kids in here. Shout out to y'all.
Yeah, Yeah.
But it's a good thing. It's a good feeling. It's a spiritual feeling. Like as if you go to church and you hear that holy music and it
I'm
take
willing
over
to
you.
bet.
But my son is the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. But me actually going through that, not being here, not realizing how
Right.
much support I actually had,
True.
that's what actually pulled me through it. I would like to give a shout out to my brother that's here with me in the audience.
Wait, your brother's here?
Little
He
bruh.
has been my #1 supporter, and he's only 18 years old though. But
What-
he's always there.
What, giving you words of
No,
encouragement?
being there. It's all about just being there. You don't gotta say nothing. You don't gotta say nothing.
Good,
She
Terrence,
got it. She got it.
that's what you did, huh? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what this is. I'm from the hood though. I thought this was Hollywood in the hood.
That's right, it is, baby. It
That's
is.
what's up.
Yeah, huh? Now I know it's getting down like that, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean? Huh?
Hey.
Huh?
Right up under me. I turned him around.
Turn me right
Hey,
now,
thank
talk
you.
to some of the children out there, Kelly. You know, some of them teenage,
Absolutely.
you know, young men and women out there that don't know much about, you know, this ailment and they are inflicted with it. Talk to them right now.
Okay, which camera I need to look in?
All
This
of
one?
them.
Right here? All right, I'm talking to you all live. If you have sickle cell anemia, please listen up. 1, don't ever lose your faith or your hope. Because I don't care what the doctors might tell you, God is he's the only one to know when you checking up out of here. 2,
That's right.
you have to be mentally strong to deal with this disease. The weak do not survive. So if you weak, then you might as well just go on and dig your grave. But other than that, you need to be a role model for other people out there with sickle cell. You need to stand up and use your voice, not only inside of the hospital, but outside of the
As
hospital.
well, outside.
Anything you wanna add?
Yeah. I would like to say that you find your strength from within. All of the pain that we go through, all of that, you know, like you could harness all of that energy to do something good, you know, to change
back.
somebody else's mind or thoughts.
Right.
So just live and maintain. You know, my favorite tagline for sickle cell was "You can never feel my pain." I got that tattoo right here.